I don't care if we didn't get to the finals. We were up, bro. D Rose was that man. We got many players looking for blood and looking to make a name for themselves in this year's playoffs. Watch the game, because I promise you there's probably going to be so many moments to talk about, and you're not going to be able to enjoy these moments by looking at a box score. I'm about to cry watching this. Oh my God. Quick announcement, everybody. So listen, next week you will have content. I promise that, but I will be gone. So it will be pre-recorded content. The reason I'll be gone is because me and my wife have saved up a while for this trip. We are going to Vegas, okay? We saved up a minute. This is finally going to be one of our honeymoon because we weren't able to actually take one. And we're going to be going to WrestleMania as well. So if you guys are a drama fan of mine or a basketball fan of mine, new or not, just so you know, I upload Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. That schedule will stay the same. You're going to get 3 basketball and 3 drama videos the entire week, even though I'm going to be gone all week from Wednesday to Sunday in Vegas. But even though it's pre-recorded content, you're still going to get actual on-the-ground content. I'm going to do some IRL videos so you guys can see Vegas. I'm going to take videos of stuff we're doing. I'm going to take pictures. I'm going to make sure to upload it for you guys on my YouTube Shorts tab and on my community post if they're just pictures. So pay attention to my community post and pay attention to my YouTube Shorts so you guys can see what I'm up to, and I want to share that with you. I appreciate every single one of you that are subscribed to me. I appreciate this community growing, and I'm hoping we can actually get to a higher area. So with that being said, enough yapping. If you're a basketball fan, don't worry. I will be back in time for the playoffs. I will be back in time to give a playoff bracket before the playoff starts. And with that out the way, let's get this video started. Love you guys. I'll see you soon. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. If you know me, you know who I am. If you don't, my name is Trey Fab. I'm a React content creator. I like to make different React content, whether that be to TikTok, YouTube, drama, nonsense. Or I also like to make content on basketball, modern NBA, and different basketball creators in general. So today, we're going to be reacting to 2011 Derrick Rose Could Walk on Water. If you guys don't know, I love Derrick Rose. If you guys see, right there, right here, I would turn my camera, but it's a hassle to fix it if I do. Right here, this is a Derrick Rose poster. Right next to LeBron. It's D Rose. D-Rose. I'm from, hold on. I gotta show you guys my wife's painting. Being from Chicago, growing up on Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose was my favorite player all time. Look at this is my wife's fucking painting of the skyline of Chicago. Look at her. Look at it. Right? So Chicago. I'm a Chicago fan. Chicago is the city I love. It's my city, bro. All right. So D Rose is my guy, bro. Oh my God. Sorry guys. I gotta mute my Discord. It is going off for some reason. I don't know how to. Notifications. I don't know. Nothing. No notifications. There we go. Okay, let's get started, guys. So with that being said, let's get this shit started. Let's watch this. Let's watch the boy D Rose. Hopefully I don't tear up on you and see what happens.
For the 2011 Eastern Conference Finals, the Miami Heat and their newly formed Big Three are facing off against the NBA's #1 seed Chicago Bulls, led by their young 22-year-old superstar. Well, actually, this isn't just any young superstar. This is Derrick Rose, in the midst of one of the most unforgettable seasons of this generation, highlighted by becoming the youngest MVP in the history of the league. And now, he's just 3 wins away from clinching an appearance in the NBA Finals. And entering this Game 4 on the road, down 2-1, he went Super Saiyan. Rose elevated for a monster slam in the first quarter, then cocked back a 2-handed rim rocker late in the second to send a jolt through his team. Miami, however, wasn't fazed by the kid's freakish athleticism. But maybe they should, because this is 2011 Derrick Rose.
Yes, and it counts over Joel Anthony.
Let me guys tell you something about 2011 Derrick Rose, that Chicago Bulls team, and how this setup right here, this setup that I have behind me, how I have a poster of LeBron next to a poster of D Rose would make 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. When did I start liking LeBron? 16, 17. I think I started respecting LeBron 18 years old. That's where I started. Started to respecting him. I started to like him when I was 19. From the ages of 10 to 17 and maybe even 18, having a poster of LeBron next to D Rose, I would probably, if 10 through 18-year-old me walked in here, 17 for sure, 18 maybe, walked in here and saw that, he'd probably fight me right now. Be like, what the fuck am I doing? It was heated back then, okay? Did not like LeBron, but here's somebody who didn't like LeBron that can be honest with my hatred towards him. I didn't hate LeBron because I thought he was a faux king. I didn't hate LeBron because I thought he was the worst player on the planet. I hated LeBron because he was good. And he kept knocking my team down. And anytime I felt like Chicago had a chance, the one person that always was in the fucking way was LeBron fucking James. Okay? Alright? That was the one person who pissed me off every single time I felt like we had a team that can go. Whether it was the Pau Gasol team, or we had the Nate Robinson, Kurt Heinrich teams, it did not matter. Every single time I felt like we had a team to maybe get over the hope from us being like favorites to us being dark horse for the Rajon Rondo, Dwayne Wade team, even though we got knocked out by Boston. But even if we got past Boston, you guys know who we were going to face. You guys know what was going to happen. But every single time I felt like we had a team that could somewhat achieve something, I felt like that boy James was always in our way. Always in our way. And D Rose was the first player I idolized to kind of mimic my game off of when I played basketball. Derrick Rose. My favorite to this day. I love him. He's my MVP. 100%. I'm a Chicago Bulls fan first. That's what you guys need to know about me. But I can love the game. Okay? I recognized that LeBron was good when I was younger. I just hated that he was so good because he took away opportunities from us. It was not cool. I did not like it.
What kind of expectations do you set for yourself individually going into year 3?
It's high. The way I look at it within myself, why not? Why can't I be the MVP of the league? Why can't I be the best player in the league? I don't see why. Why?
Why not? Those were the words spoken by Derrick Rose a month before the 2011 season was set to begin, questioning why he can't be the MVP and the best player in the league. The dude clearly had confidence, but I mean, come on. The MVP? Is he crazy? Those were the reactions around that quote, and rightfully so. Rose was entering just his 3rd season in the NBA at 22 years old, an age at which no player has ever won the MVP. Plus, the Bulls' record sat at 500 the past 2 years. To believe that he and his team could take such a leap was delusional, but I will give him the benefit of the doubt. The kid has shown flashes of greatness with his inconceivable athleticism and ability to finish around the rim. In fact, he was awarded the Rookie of the Year and became an All-Star in just his 2nd season. The signs of a future star were there, but I mean, an MVP at 22? There's no way. The belief that Rose would win the MVP was a little comical. I mean, we weren't even sure if this guy was a top 5 point guard in the NBA. But in just his 2nd game of the season, he shut us up. D Rose lit the United Center on fire with a career-high 39 points to go with 6 rebounds and 7 assists. He was clearly confident in himself, and it didn't waver at all through the first month of the season. He poured in 24 and 14 on the Knicks, popped off for 22 and 13 against a future MVP. He caught fire for back-to-back 33-point games, scorched the defending champs for 30, blitzed Phoenix for 35, 12 and 7, and then embarrassed the Kings for 37, 7 and 2.
You guys do not understand how strong Derrick Rose mania was in the city of Chicago. You guys will never understand how much love this man received when he played on the Bulls, and how much love he still gets to this day. Whether it was him taking a stint to Minnesota, whether it was him taking a stint to Detroit, whether it was him, funny enough, taking a stint to Cleveland to play alongside LeBron, he was consistently cheered. When he got his 50 piece when he was on the Grizzlies, I teared up for the boy. Okay? Older than me. So I say boy, but Derrick Rose will always be a player that I idolize. He will always be someone. I'm already thinking about tearing up already, man. He will always be someone that is my childhood, dog. Man. I just think of memories of just when I was younger. I remember seeing when we were going to retire his jersey, and we let him know that we were going to retire his jersey, not only did I watch it, I was at home when I watched it. I watched it, I teared up. Now, my wife wasn't home. She didn't see it. Because never let a woman see you cry, okay? That is the what? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But nah, I watched it at home, and it made me tear up. It made me tear up. I was, man, if I could have allowed myself to cry. If I let myself cry, it probably would have happened. I definitely teared up a little bit. Because it's just, he is homegrown. This is our homegrown superstar. And even though he had stints in other places, it's the memories that he built with us. And the injury is going to always be the biggest what if in basketball, because it wasn't just a physical injury. If you guys know the history of Derrick Rose, it was also a mental one. If you guys aren't aware of the history of Derrick Rose suffered a terrible injury in the playoffs when he was going up against the Sixers back in the Chicago days. Now, he did heal from his injury, and the biggest problem was him coming back. It was always speculation. Is he going to come back in a couple games, a couple weeks, went to a month, went to a couple months? No one really understood why he was sitting out. No one really understood why he wasn't playing. And one thing we did understand is as time went by, it's like, damn, his mental probably just wasn't there. It's like, damn, I'm going to come back to the city. What if I'm not the player? What if I'm not that guy that Chicago needs me to be? The player that Chicago wants me to be, you know? And that can take a mental toll. And he did come back. He had some flashes. He had some great games. The game winner against Cleveland, okay? Just for LeBron to hit a game winner on us. The very next game against Jimmy Butler. But, you know, it is what it is with that man. But D Rose will always be my favorite player. He will always be one of my legends. Even if stat-wise we can't point to it, championships we can't point to it. This is why basketball is something you should watch. If you went ahead and typed in Derrick Rose stats, we can just look up Derrick Rose stats. Right. We go ahead and just type in Derrick Rose stats. Why am I in full screen mode? I can't. I'm trying to show you guys. Okay. Like, his stats were good, you know. He averaged for a career 17 points per game, 45% from the field, 31% from three, not that good, 3.2 rebounds, 5.2 assists, and 0.7 steals. You look at his career points, you look at this shit, you look at the games played, you know, if you didn't watch ball, you guys would probably just say, this is kind of just an average player. It is what it is. Started his career off with the Bulls, had a decent stint there, and then he moved on to the Knicks, and then the Cavs, then the Bulls, and the Pistons, the Knicks again, the Grizzlies, you know, had an okay career. But if you actually watched basketball, which is why I tear up thinking about it, you actually watch basketball, you understand Derrick Rose meant a lot to the city of Chicago. And he's always going to be a legend in our eyes, okay? He may not have won us a championship, but he made us extremely competitive. And he brought winning back to the city of Chicago. Something we haven't seen in years. So, that is just my little synopsis on the boy D Rose. Let's keep going.
Oh, and that 2 stands for 2 broken ankles. The dude snapped Tyreke Evans' ankles so hard that he kept spinning like a Beyblade after he went down. It was disgusting. Rose was flourishing into the superstar Chicago had been craving for years now. Ever since Jordan retired in '98, there weren't many bright spots as a Bulls fan. But now over a decade later, there was another freak athlete in a Chicago uniform. And it was absolute cinema. D Rose had elevated his game to such a degree that he was actually being considered as the MVP early in the season. Maybe the kid wasn't so crazy after all. However, people were still skeptical that he'd be able to keep up this play throughout the season. But in his mind, there was no doubt that he was among the NBA's elite. He was like a rocket headed to the top, landing just in time for a masterclass against Houston.
To his left, lost his dribble, got it back. Joe King, Rose for 3. Kaboom! Big time players, big
Rose solidified his name in the MVP conversation against the Rockets, digging deep into his bag and pulling out 30 points, 7 boards, 11 dimes, 5 steals, and of course, a tough 3 going right at the buzzer to send the game to overtime, where the Bulls got the win. This dude was unreal. The win electrified Chicago as they went 12-2 over their next 14 games, as they launched themselves from 6th to 3rd in the East, headed into the new year, where D Rose hit the gas. He killed Philly for 27-9, poured in 36 on the Celtics, dropped 29, 5-7 on Detroit, then cranked up the heat on Miami for 34 points and 8 assists, including a monster 11-point fourth quarter in a 3-point win. Rose was absolutely scorching the league, with a play style no one had ever seen before. The dude's ability to finish around the rim was a joke. His control in the
He was so explosive. Derrick Rose explosiveness is just absolutely insane. The things that he was able to do, it's just something that I can't even really just describe it to you. I'm trying to, because obviously it's a reaction video, but it's just something you got to go. When he says Derrick could walk on water, it damn near felt that way. You know, he could get to the rim with ease. He could stop on a dime like no one's business. He could make you guard him and still beat you to the basket. And his basketball IQ was extremely high. He wasn't just explosive, by the way. He knew how to read the floor. Derrick Rose. I'm going to sound like a broken record when we glaze this. Derrick Rose, to this day, one of the best players, in my opinion, that I've ever seen.
air and ability to contort his body was inhumane. On top of the fact that his passing was elite, his herky-jerky way of finding lanes to the rim was unheard of. His crossover could seriously be classified as a murder weapon, and we haven't even mentioned his greatest skill. D Rose was a blur in transition. The dude can click it into another gear unlike anyone I can think of. One short speed burst and he was gone. It was like a Ferrari amongst minivans. And what really set him apart is that he can also do this.
Look out.
That's Dang on the left side.
A 6'3" point guard that can do that was unheard of. Rose's nuclear athleticism made him absolutely electrifying night in and night out, as he was now officially stamped as one of the game's premier players. In February, it was announced that he'd be an all-star starter for the first time in his career, an unreal accomplishment for a dude who's in just his third season in the NBA. So, upon hearing the news, D Rose celebrated in a way that only he can.
Rose going in next to basket and a foul. Here's Rose battling in. Pretty move by Rose. Just don't score the fast break points as Rose gets on the inside. And Rose wending his way in and backs it in. Over Duncan. Rose. Jefferson closes in on him. And Rose hits a big two.
Rose
This is like a Derrick Rose Glaze video, and I'm not even mad about it, okay? Love Derrick Rose, will forever love the man. I am so happy that I got to watch a player like this growing up, and I will say it time and time again, guys. Watch basketball. Actually watch the games. Don't just look at stats, because you're going to fall in love with players that you're not going to be able to fall in love with if you just sit there and look at box scores.
completely picked apart the number 1 seeded Spurs with a career-high 42 points, including 13 in a clutch fourth quarter to seal their 38th win of the season. D Rose was cooking headed into the All-Star break, where he returned laser-focused on that MVP. In his first game back, Rose lit up the Raptors for 32 and 10 dimes. Unfortunately, it wasn't a loss that got the Bulls fired up. Over their next 12 games, Chicago was blazing with an 11-1 record, including 8 straight wins headed into a matchup against Indiana, where D Rose went berserk for 42 points. Yet this unreal performance wasn't another loss, pouring fuel onto their fire. The Bulls had an encore, going 11-1 over their next 12, which included 6 30-point games from the young superstar. Chicago had now unexpectedly reached the 60-win mark on the season, and many had Derrick Rose as their MVP headed down the final stretch. But nothing was guaranteed just yet. LeBron James and Dwight Howard were also having seasons worthy of the award. Rose had to remove any doubt around his MVP case, and in the 81st game of the season at Madison Square Garden on national television, he did just that.
The next play was fouled. There was no call on Boozer. They go to Derrick Rose. Rose puts the speed on against the back. No chance for the Knicks. The game realized the Knicks. A man-man picked off by Rose. Look out. Here's Rose. Derrick Rose trying to show on here at Madison Square Garden.
God. A masterpiece to watch. And listen, I know that some people say, well, LeBron probably got that award over D Rose, but nah. You watching that season, we got 62 wins that season. Again, okay, we were definitively one of the best teams in the league. Probably wasn't going to get past Miami. We didn't get past Miami, but we were good against them, I think, in the regular season, if my memory serves me correctly. And, okay, Derrick was the glue to that team. Okay? Like, without him, I don't think we hit 60 wins. So, that award goes to Derrick. He deserves that award 100%, okay? And LeBron got 4 of them. So, I like LeBron. But I don't like the argument that he deserves that over Rose deserved that award 1,000,000%.
Was beat up on the Knicks for 26 points, but he didn't.
And it's no disrespect to Brown because he had a great season himself, but Rose deserved that award.
Most of his damage on the Madison Square Garden rims. He took an elevator to throw down the lob in the first quarter, stuffed in a two-hander in the paint like he was Shaq, and for his final act, he soared for an acrobatic reverse slam with his head at the rim. The MVP race was over. Derrick Rose was named the league's most valuable player at 22 years old, becoming the youngest to ever receive the award. At a time where the NBA was stacked with guys like LeBron, Kobe, Dirk, and Wade, it was a 22-year-old Derrick Rose who literally rose above them all. The man lived up to his word, and the playoffs are going to show us what this kid is truly made of. To everyone's surprise, MVP D Rose became a reality and headed into the postseason with a target on his back. He was about to evolve into playoff D Rose. In other words, he was out for blood.
Collison slips inside. By Rose. What a recovery. Spins inside. Rose again. Spinning. Floater. Yes. Rose does have.
I'm sorry. We gotta pull this out. We gotta pull this out. This shit is pocket.
Stop it. Get some help.
D Rose was that man. My city boy. Chicago be up during this time. I don't care if we didn't get to the finals. We were up, bro. D Rose was that man.
In Game 1 against the 8th-seeded Indiana Pacers, Rose cooked up a 39-point, 6-rebound, 6-assist, and 3-block masterpiece, and then damn near one-upped himself in Game 2 with 36, 8, 7, and 2 steals. Playoff D Rose was here, which meant this series was over. The Bulls won Game 3 to go up 3-0, lost Game 4, then closed out the series at home to advance to Round 2. And the Avalanche continued against the Hawks with 24, 5, and 10 in Game 1, but it came in a loss. So Rose said, hey, I'll do it again, as he poured in 25, 6, 10, and 2 blocks to tie the series at 1 headed to Atlanta. With Chicago losing home court advantage, this was a crucial Game 3 that can change the entire trajectory of this series. So with high stakes, the MVP came to play, turning the road crowd into his own fans. I'm not even kidding.
Did you see the move by the MVP? Shot selection in Game 2. Rose all the way home. Rose a floater. Catch and shoot. Derrick Rose again.
Please, guys. Please. Look at fucking Teague, bro. Look at Teague getting cooked, bro. But please, guys. Watch basketball. I said this already early in the video. I'm going to say again. This year, the playoffs are extremely... The East, if you're an Eastern Conference team, it still should be fun. Orlando's going to be a sneaky team. I don't see them beating Boston, but it is going to be Boston versus Orlando. So I'm just saying, that is something to watch. And they just beat Boston by damn near 20. So it's something to watch. I want you guys to watch the playoffs this year, especially the Western Conference, even if your team's not in the Western Conference. Listen, I'm a Bulls fan. We're in the play-in. I don't think we're doing much, but I'm still going to watch. I'm going to be in Vegas, and I'm still going to watch, okay? I have my phone like this while I'm in Vegas. My wife may yell at me a little bit, but that's okay. I got to watch my team. She knows that. But when it comes to basketball, dog, watch the playoffs this year, dog. Watch it. Watch it every year, but watch it this year. The Western Conference, especially, it's going to be extremely stacked. And if you love basketball, just watch the game. You're going to fall in love with these moments. There's probably going to be many moments this year, I promise you, that are going to be memorable. Okay, we got Steph, we got Luka, we got the young OKC Thunder, we got Denver on a mission after Mike Malone getting fired. We got a lot of teams that are out there looking for blood. We got Kawhi revitalized. Okay, we got Harden being talked down, even by me. We got many players looking for blood and looking to make a name for themselves in this year's playoffs. Watch the game, because I promise you there's probably going to be so many moments to talk about, and you're not going to be able to enjoy these moments by looking at a box score.
On that for a career playoff high. Bad looks, Mike. They're not getting good looks. Derrick Rose, most points he's had in his NBA career. 44 for Rose.
The Atlanta crowd oohed and awed at every move Rose made on his way to a playoff career-high 44 points. This guy's ability to find lanes and seemingly speed boost into them to score was... I don't even know, I'm speechless. His career performance gave the Bulls a 2-1 lead, but a Game 4 loss tied the series at 2, headed back to Chicago. And it was D. Rose time once again. He showed the Hawks how to fly with a huge 33-point, 10-assist night to go up 3-2, where they closed the series in a blowout win on the road to clinch their ticket to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they'll be facing an absolute behemoth. This was a dream matchup headed into the playoffs. The Miami Heat's Big Three, led by LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, against the #1 seed Chicago Bulls and the MVP. It was two titans about to go to war against each other with a trip to the NBA Finals on the line. And in Game 1, D. Rose and the Bulls made a statement. The MVP scorched the Heat for 28 points and 6 dimes, blowing the doors off Miami by 21 to take the lead in the series. 3 more wins, and they're finals bound. Game 2, however, wasn't so great. Chicago suffered a double-digit loss at home, and then Miami caught fire in Game 3 to take a commanding 2-1 series lead. Now on the verge of a dreadful 3-1 deficit, the MVP had to show up in Game 4. And he did. Early. D. Rose set the tone as he soared through the air for a one-handed jam halfway through the first quarter. Then he did it again late in the second, flying down the lane, drawing the foul, and punching a two-handed tomahawk to tie the game at 40. And this is right about where we left off, right?
On the field, 17 for 39. What a move by Rose! Oh! Yes, and it counts! Over!
The love of basketball this man brought to the city. I have many memorable D. Rose moments. Like I said, the one moment that I bring up all the time is his game winner against Cleveland to clinch. I think we did clinch a 2-1 series lead. We almost went up 3-1 on that Cleveland team, dog. We almost went up 3-1 against a LeBron Cleveland team, and then that motherfucker hit a game winner. Oh! God. LeBron James, bro. Love him or hate him. I can understand why some fans may hate him. Listen, and I can even understand why some fans may hate LeBron in Chicago, but still. Damn. That was rough. The one thing with D. Rose is he showed a never quit attitude. Tom Thibodeau, in my opinion, like him as a coach, but and he's showing this now, especially with him being a coach on the Knicks. He does not have trust in his bench. Even when you get to the playoffs, you're not going to play 10 deep. It's not going to happen. I think the Warriors play 12 deep. Some teams play 11 deep right now as far as the regular season goes. But right now, you guys can even see a lot of these rosters are being trimmed down. Not trading players or nothing like that, but as far as who they're playing and who's getting minutes. And the reason for that is because the playoffs are about to start. You want to see your playoff rotations. A lot of the times, you're going to play anywhere between 8 to 9 guys. That's it. That's what you're going to play, 8 to 9 guys. Tom was pushing minutes on these guys way too much. One thing with Derrick Rose is I said to this day, I don't know if he gets the injury that he got if he wasn't played so much. If I'm not mistaken, when Derrick Rose got this injury, they were up. And he was still playing. And they were up by a decent margin. And they were still playing. And there were several games like this where they'll be up double-digit points. We'll be going into the fourth. And he's still playing. Tom was a great coach. Don't get me wrong. Really good coach. You got to trust your bench. You have to trust your bench. You have to trust your bench. You got to be able to sit these guys and trust that your bench is not going to be able to just hold the score down, but at least hold the lead and maybe not blow it at the very least, right? You're never going to see Luka and Bron play the entirety of a game back to back to back to back to back to back. JJ Redick, I think, is a good coach. Even Darvin Ham, as much of a bad coach as he was, didn't do shit like that. Tom has this problem, and we're seeing it on the Knicks now, where he will just consistently and constantly play the starters at a ridiculous amount of minutes with no regard to their health whatsoever, and I think that's a problem.
Oh my god. 6'3" Derrick Rose completely blows up 6'9" Joel Anthony with a two-handed poster on his head, silencing the Miami crowd. It's seriously one of the greatest dunks you'll ever see. But unfortunately, that'd be the final bright spot for the Bulls. Chicago went on to lose behind a rough 8 of 27 shooting performance from Rose to go down 3-1. And back on home soil in Game 5, we saw the same struggles from the MVP, putting up 25 points and 8 assists on just 8 of 29 from the field. It was bad. But by the grace of God, it's a one-possession game with 15 seconds left. A 3 can save their season. Rose scrambles to get the ball, makes his way to the left wing, throws up a 3, but it's blocked by LeBron, and that's it. An unforgettable season ends in heartbreak for the MVP. But one thing's for sure, this isn't the last time we're going to hear from this kid. Derrick Rose is the future. He carried his team to a deep playoff run and won the MVP at just 22 years old. 2011 was just a stepping stone. The kid has his entire future in front of him.
Rose came down bad on his left foot. See him holding onto his knee and down. He was flying and he came down wrong on the left foot. Now whether it was an ankle or a knee, I do not know.
In another life, this may have been different.
This shit's gonna make me cry, bro. Oh, this shit is gonna make me cry, bro. I'm being so dead ass. I'm about to cry watching this. Oh my lord.
Rose trying to get open, fires away. It's over. The Bulls win at the buzzer. 44% from the field, 17 for 39. What about by Rose? Yes, it counts.
Why can't I be the MVP of the league? Why can't I be the best player in the league? I don't see why. Why?
Love Post2k. 2011 Derrick Rose could walk on water. Very good video. Got me in my emotions. Hopefully I was able to explain to you guys why I love D Rose as much as I do. Being from the city of Chicago and growing up on the guy. Idolizing him. Okay? I remember back on Facebook when celebrities had Facebook pages, right? And you were able to message their Facebook page. I remember messaging him. Obviously, he probably didn't see it. Messaging him, wishing that he would be okay, hoping that he would come back. Man. This just brings back memories. And I made more memories as the time goes on. Like Post2k brought up. This was the era that Dirk played. This was the era that Kobe played. Duncan played. Bron played. I think it's funny that some people like to say Bron played in a soft era. Isn't that funny, huh? So are we saying Kobe was soft? But I digress. This isn't about Bron. Kinda, little bit, because he, you know, Bulls face the Heat, but this is about him. But one thing as far as that era goes, you guys hear me talk about Derrick Rose every now and then. You guys see the poster behind me. At least you see his feet. One day I'll turn the camera so you can see the full... You know what? You know what? Fuck it. For the video, huh? For the video, I'll fix the camera. Just a bitch and a half to fix. See? See? I can kind of fix it here, right? I don't even think that's the same shit, but at least you get more of D Rose and this imagery. If the camera's kind of messed up, I'll fix it later. You can see more of my closet too. But one thing with me and my love for basketball is, even though I love that era of basketball and I have so many fond memories, I have so many fond memories of my team in general as a Bulls fan. I feel like if Rondo did not go down, back when it was him, Dwayne Wade, and we had that team on the Bulls, and we faced the Celtics, I feel like if Rondo did not go down, we beat that Celtics team. I do feel that. 1,000,000%. I think we beat that Celtics team. but we won't know. We won't know. But one thing I do know is that as a basketball fan, I don't live in the past, but I tear up about it. I think about it. I watch it. I'm happy about it. I tell you guys memories I have with it. But I will never sit there and tell you, don't watch anything else basketball-wise. The past is the best. Okay? And that's it. Derrick Rose is on my fucking wall, dude. I don't love any Chicago Bull player as much as I like Derrick Rose. When I was younger, I loved Jordan. And I still love Jordan for his competitiveness and the championships that he brought to Chicago. I didn't grow up on Jordan, though. I love him as a Chicagoan. I love the fact that he brought championships to my team. That's who I grew up on. That's my favorite Bull. And even though he may be my favorite Bull for now, and probably forever, until the day I die, because I grew up on it, it doesn't mean I'm not going to love my team. And it also doesn't mean that I don't think Kobe White is a great young star. I don't think Josh Giddey was a great pickup. I don't think Matisse is going to be amazing for the Bulls. I don't think our lineup is pretty good. I don't respect Vucevic and the work that he put in on our team. Or I don't respect DeMar coming to our team and the shit that he put in. As much as we got rid of Levine, I know that it's hit or miss as far as being a Bulls fan, whether you like him or hate him. I still think that he helped our team in the ways as far as his scoring and his ability and his talent that he brought to our team. I can respect our teams, and I can respect modern day NBA. Watch the game. There's so many moments that I have with D Rose that I can tell you and talk about on length. But there's a lot of moments that I have as of a few days ago with the modern NBA, and not even about Luka, and not even about the big team like the Lakers. Okay, I watched the game with Minnesota, and I could talk about Anthony Edwards in Minnesota against Memphis and how I think that was a statement game and how that was a fun game to watch. Right? So, or that Denver game, that was a fun game to watch between him and Minnesota and Denver. There's moments you could talk about, and there's moments to live in now. So if you're an old head watching my content, or if you're just someone who's not an old head, but you're relishing in the old days and how it was the best, and that's the best basketball. It's great basketball. I mean, like I said, look who's on my wall, bro. It's great basketball. But keep on enjoying the game. If you feel like there's nothing else to love and you're not going to love the game at all as much as you did as you're a kid, then you don't love ball, bro. So that's my conclusion with this whole video. I'm glad that we were able to watch this. I like Post2k. All right. I love ball. And I hope you guys have a good day, bro. I hope you guys enjoy the playoffs. I hope your team is, if you have a team in the playoffs, I hope they're able to go far. I don't care if they're 8 seed or 1 seed. Hope they're able to go far. And even if they don't, I hope you're able to enjoy the moment and watch the games. But until next time, my friends, I love you. I'll see you. Peace out. Deuces.